a deep breath. But tonight was the first assembly ball of the New York season, and the elegant Worth gown had been sized for the fashionable wasp-waist silhouette that could only be achieved by cruelly constricted lacing. "You might as well get started, Colleen." "Yes, miss." Colleen removed the cotton gloves she'd put on to ensure that no trace of human skin oil or perspiration marred the perfection of the Worth evening gown, then helped Miss Prudence step into the garment that would reshape the natural curves of her already slightly built figure. "Hold your breath, Miss Prudence." "I'll be lucky if I can breathe at all," Prudence complained. She'd tossed her corset onto the floor of her wardrobe and dared to ride astride during a recent and ill-fated trip to one of Georgia's beautiful and deadly coastal islands. But such conduct in staid New York would not be tolerated. Society condemned as unbecomingly careless and indiscreet any such relaxation on the part of its young women, especially those who were as yet unmarried. "Breathing is highly overrated. I haven't breathed naturally except in my bed for more than 20 years. Announced the Dowager Viscountess Rotherton, former American socialite and heiress Gillian Vandergrift, from the doorway of her niece's bedroom. She wore a midnight blue silk Worth evening gown, studded lavishly with clusters of tiny diamonds. A diamond and sapphire tiara was anchored firmly atop high-piled hair, unmarred by a single strand of gray. More diamonds and sapphires dripped from her ears and cascaded down a beautifully rounded bosom. "Get on with it, girl. We haven't got all night." "Yes, my lady." Colleen gave an involuntarily hard jerk to her mistress's laces, whispering an apology under her breath as Prudence took a small, stumbling step backward. Lady Rotherton frightened Colleen to death. Except for Mr. Cameron, the butler, every servant in the Fifth Avenue mansion was firmly under her ladyship's exacting thumb, cowed into impeccable service, and not a whisper of complaint except in the safe confines of the servants' hall or an attic bedroom. The Dowager Viscountess had been in New York for only 2 months, but Prudence's aunt had picked up the reins of her niece's everyday life the moment she walked through her late brother-in-law's front door, and never for a moment slackened her hold. Lady Rotherton had sailed from London and endured 7 days of rough Atlantic seas to chaperone her unmarried niece through a New York social season, and chaperone she would. The matter of finding a suitable husband for her sister's only child was never far from her mind, although Prudence was proving to be annoyingly uncooperative. "You can't wear diamonds until you're married, of course, but your mother's pearls will do very nicely," Lady Rotherton continued, running one slender forefinger over the earrings and necklace that Sarah Vandergrift MacKenzie had worn at her debut many years ago. The sisters had been so close in age and looks that people often mistook them for twins, but Gillian had been ambitious for a title and far more adventuresome than the quiet Sarah. She'd been one of the first American dollar princesses, as the tabloid press called them, so eager to see the world and experience life that she jumped without a second thought into a loveless, childless union that was fortunately both brief and, thanks to her father's deft and far-seeing hand with the marriage contract, lucrative. In her more introspective and occasionally tender moments, Gillian wanted something better for Prudence. But for tonight's ball, the devilishly handsome and wholly inappropriate Geoffrey Hunter would have to do. Prudence had refused to consider any other escort, and although Lady Rotherton was far from approving her niece's choice, she had deemed it a battle not worth fighting. The main thing was to get Prudence back into society again. Lady Rotherton didn't doubt that Hunter would dance like a prince men like him always did, which, if nothing else, would draw all eyes to the vision of Prudence whirling across the ballroom floor in her devastatingly gorgeous Worth gown. Catching her aunt's approving nod, Prudence realized that she hardly recognized the sedate and serenely beautiful young woman looking back at her from the long wood-frame cheval mirror. The Worth gown shimmered in the pale yellow gaslight, and the pearls Colleen had fastened into Prudence's ears and around her neck shone like dappled beads.